the Lakers and the Nuggets. The reason why I'm recording at the time I'm recording, because game 5, and I'm glad that I did, because game 5 was that was a good game. But again, I'm not here to break down the game specifically. The Lakers were down 3-1 with they were down 3-0. One game 4 at home, had to come back to Denver playing the altitude. You got Jamal Murray who's dealing with something with his calf. You got um, just all whoever else is hurt. I'm sure LeBron's feeling something. Anthony Davis is probably was definitely feeling something. Then like all these guys get banged up in the game. Ken Davis, Caldwell Pope gets banged up. Bron gets banged up. Davis gets banged up. It's just like ugh. Everyone's dragging. Everybody's tired. It felt like a game 7. It was ugly. There were a lot of chip shots, chip layups missed. A lot of ugly basketball. A lot of like tough, gritty fouls, but nothing dirty, right? A lot of what's another thing I usually see? Like a lot of like 4 straight possessions of people are just like walking, like dragging down the court, dragging their feet. Like it felt like a game 7. Um, but the Lakers, man, they just not tonight. Not tonight. Tonight actually they looked like a competent team. But they have just looked like a complete mess. And quite frankly, they look like a mess since 2020. Like since winning that championship in the bubble, they look like a mess. You got guys who one day will go score 30, the next day won't show up. D'Lo's sitting on the bench while the coach is in the timeout drawing up plays. You got LeBron who's upset. They're up double digits, but you didn't challenge. Now he's stomping it up. Remember last year in that Boston game, you got Patrick Beverly showing the referees the camera. Hey, here's the foul. LeBron's on one knee, hand covering his head like he just, lost the lottery or something. Like he just gambled away his house. I don't know like what is happening, but the Lakers just look like a complete mess. Meanwhile, Denver looks like a team who's all about business. And that kind of stuff shows. So when you lose 12, 13, whatever the number was, straight games against an opponent, including two playoff series, that's where that stuff shows, because playoff games are won in the margins. So the more buttoned up you are, the more success you'll have in said margins. You don't have success if you can't figure your stuff out. And whatever problems that they got internally bleed through into their games. They're not a team who's more talented than most of the league. In fact, one could argue they're one of the less talented teams in the playoffs, just from a talent perspective. So when you don't have the talent to outmatch it, and you're outmatched at the coach, now those margins get wider, and you're lucky you have LeBron, who really covers a lot of mistakes. But quite frankly, he's 39 years old. And Anthony Davis, we know he breaks down. And so now you got the Lakers, who've lost 8-1 to the Nuggets the last 2 years. They go from being conference championship last year after beating the Memphis Grizzlies and the Warriors to playing the Nuggets and going home in the first round. I don't know what's going on. Darvin Ham, I don't know how they keep him. And again, this goes back to a lot of head coaching stuff. It's not the coach's fault. It's a lot of circumstantial stuff that comes with it. But it just is the way of the business. And when your team looks like that, me personally, I can't keep you around as my coach. So I don't know, man. I had a friend of mine who sent me a voice message, and he was like, I just kind of want the Lakers to lose so they can put me out of my misery so I can just enjoy the rest of the playoffs. Because if they win game 5, we're going to be 3-2 going back home. I'm going to be right back in here. I'm going to have all my hopes high for them to break my heart again. And that's what Laker fans are going through. It sucks. It sucks, but that's what happens when a franchise is poorly run. The Lakers are not a well-run franchise. Do I know how to run a franchise? No. Okay, so when I say that, I don't say that because I could do better. I only say that because when I'm looking at them compared to everybody else, that's what you're getting. It's a mess over there. It's a mess. And they got to figure that out. They got to figure that out.